Hello, and welcome to the Lead Center's November Huskers in the Spotlight concert, this month's episode of our live stream concert series featuring special performances from UNL students and alumni. Each month, we'll introduce you to a new local artist, listen to some of their music live, and hear from them directly as they tell the story of who they are now and who they want to be. We'll be live on the last Tuesday of every month at noon, so mark your calendars. We have an incredible lineup of artists this fall, and we're closing off November with a star singer-songwriter who's a valued member of the UNL community. Our artist today is a seasoned pro with music inspired by the likes of Jon Bellion, Vampire Weekend, and Fleetwood Mac. He began releasing music professionally in late 2018, and in 2020, he released his second EP, A Book of Stories. He plans on pursuing a full-time music career after graduating from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln in 2021, and he already has a leg up in that career, considering he has nearly 100,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and several of his most popular songs have racked up over 1 million listens on the platform. It is my pleasure to welcome to the stream today, live from the Lead Center, Noah Floersch.
Hi, thanks for having me. On drums today we got Eric Skoog, it's also his birthday, and Ross Grieb on guitar. Let's get it going. In comparison to Paris, you lie like the city of lights, and you fight like my parents about who and what and when. And you barely even shared it. Good night to the pretty old sky, and good night to the terrace where we knew what we had been. And your mind is just like theirs is. To die, what a pity to die without getting to cherish all the things you left behind. And I know you know what fair is, so why would you sit there and cry like you might have to bear this, like you'd even have to try? I know for a fact I'm on your mind, like all the time. And when you get back to being fine, then I'm your guy. In the valley there's a river that moves like a snake, how it glides and it slithers away in a way that makes it seem to only grow bigger. There's a boat upon this river, it moves like a snake, how it glides and it slithers away in a way, and it's headed away for the winter. But it seems that I'm stuck on you, and you are stuck on me. And I don't know what to do, 'cause you did this to me. Fight like my parents about who and what and when. And you barely even shared it. Good night to the pretty old sky, and good night to the terrace where we knew we had been. I know for a fact I'm on your mind, like all the time. When you get back to being fine, then I'm your guy. Thank you. That was On Your Mind by me.
Man, no, that is awesome. It's so great getting to, hear live music. I'm always jamming over here during these concerts, but getting to hear you perform live, because I've never actually heard you perform live. I'm always listening on Spotify. You're always on my on repeat for me, but it's really incredible, and you have a great live sound. So I think that's awesome because not everyone can say that.
Thank you.
And Noah, you've already put together an incredible and professional career for yourself as a college student. So I know I'll be keeping tabs on you as you enter the pro music biz. But before your career takes off, can we hear a bit about how you got your start as an artist?
Sure. So you don't really realize you're an artist. It just sort of like is for me at least, it was a very slow burn. I started writing music in middle school, but I didn't really share it with anybody. So no one really kind of knew I was doing this up until probably sophomore year or junior year of high school, when I joined choir and I started getting comfortable singing in front of people. And then I became more comfortable, sharing my work and stuff like that, putting stuff on SoundCloud. But I really, when I released my first song on, actual streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music, that was Girl from the Sidewalk. And even when I released that, I didn't really feel like I was an artist at that point. I was just a guy putting a song out into the world and saying, hey, let's see what happens. And quite a bit happened because of that. So, yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. No, and I know we were talking earlier, but I remember when I heard Girl from the Sidewalk for the first time and just seeing it all over social media. So it's great to see where you started and actually kind of be there when you're first putting out music, and getting to have you now here at the Lead Center performing on a live stream concert for us. So I think that's really awesome, and I'm excited to see where you continue to go from here. But I believe you have a new release for us next, correct?
Yes. So this next song came out in October, and I think this is the first time. This is definitely the first time we played it live. So we're excited for everyone to hear it. Do you ever take the time to wonder why we all exist? And if you do, what do you think it's all about? And do you ever get the feeling that your time is running out? Do you ever sit around and wish that you could change the way you look, or how you dress, or how you feel about yourself? Do you ever wish that you could be somebody else? Well, if you answered yes to any of these questions, chances are you're one of us. And who are we? We're the dreamers and believers and the thinkers and the feelers, so don't be afraid. We're the same. Do you ever think about how if you had a different job you might be happier and something doesn't feel right? Do you ever wonder what you want to do with your life? Do you ever wonder why you can't explain yourself and everything inside your head just doesn't leave your mouth right? Do you ever go on walks? Well, if you answered yes to any of these questions, chances are you're one of us. And who are we? We're the dreamers and believers and the thinkers and the feelers, so don't be afraid, 'cause we're the same. If you answered yes to any of these questions, chances are you're one of us. And who are we? We're the dreamers and believers and the thinkers and the feelers, so don't be afraid. We're the same. And that was We're the Same. That came out in October. Please give that a listen on streaming platforms if you haven't yet.
Alrighty, folks, you heard it here first, live at the Lead Center. We're the Same. So first live performance of that. And Noah, when I was giving that a listen before, I think that song's really great, especially right now, given everything that's been going on this year. And it's been very vitriolic and everything. So I think that we all need a little bit of a reminder that we are the same. We're more alike than we are different. So I think that song really fits the moment we're in. So I think that's great. And so kind of shifting gears a bit, I'm interested in digging into your process of writing and producing music. As a songwriter, how do you get started? Are you typically just walking around and an idea pops into your head and you put pen to paper, or what does that look like for you?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. About like half of the songs that I've written, and I've written a lot of songs. I have so many songs in the bank that haven't been released. But I would say probably a good 50% are from day-to-day conversations and activities and things like that, where something really wonderful happens, or really sad, or anything in between, that I say, oh, that could be a song. I've kind of trained my brain, in a sense, to always be writing, which sounds really cliche, but it's true. You can really pull so much material just from your everyday life, even in the mundane. There's a lot to be explored and zoomed in on or zoomed out on. And as an artist, it's our job to kind of portray these things. And as a songwriter, it's our job to portray these things as interesting or sad or fun, and tying all these different things together. So a lot of my writing, probably 50% of it, is just saying, oh, that could be a good idea for a song, and typing it down in the notes of my phone. That's exactly how the song Girl from the Sidewalk got started. I walked past this girl, which Girl from the Sidewalk, for context, is the first song I released ever professionally in December of 2018. And I was walking past this girl, and we both looked back at each other at the same time. And right away, I was like, oh, that's cool, first. And then seconds after, I pulled out my phone and I typed in, I walked past this girl, and we looked at each other at the same time. And a few months later, that became a full song that ended up being my first song, that ended up launching me on this sort of music career. And it's funny that little instance can have so much of an impact. That enough is poetry, but to put it into the song is just as important. So that's 50% of those songs that I'm writing, and the other 50% are in songwriting sessions where you sit down and you say, I'm going to write a song. And those are much more arduous. There's a lot of thinking going on there, rather than a song sort of flowing out or happening from experience. You have to sit down and you have to put yourself in a position to make something, and that can often be very difficult.
Okay, so I have to ask, just because I'm intrigued, does this girl on the sidewalk, does she know who she is?
No, I also have no idea who she is.
Okay.
It was a long time ago. Water under the bridge, as far as I'm concerned. But I am thankful for her, because she did kind of make a song that ended up kind of launching me. So shout out to her wherever she's at.
She's watching.
Yeah.
Okay, Noah, so, what is the secret sauce that goes into writing and producing a successful song? Like I said at the beginning, you have a lot of songs that have hit 1 million hits, or in the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of listens on Spotify. So what goes into creating a song like that?
That's a really good question, and I feel like so many people ask that question. It's $1 million question. If people knew, people would be doing it, right?
Yeah.
To me, there really is no secret sauce. But there is something really, really special in being an authentic artist. Now, there are plenty of musicians and artists out there that are chasing stream numbers, or chasing clout, or chasing money, and that's fine. As far as career paths are concerned, go ahead and do that. That's fine. But from my experience and from the type of music that I make, I find it far more effective to write from the heart and produce authentic music, because for me, the songs that really come from a special place or come from a very authentic place end up performing better on the streaming platforms anyways. So you look again at that song Girl from the Sidewalk. It's not a song you would expect to do well on the market, because it's a 6.5-minute song. So when Ross is my producer, he's not only a great guitarist, but he's also my producer. When Ross and I were putting this song together, in the fall of 2018, he was like, are you sure you want your first single to be 6.5 minutes long? And I said, yeah, it's a good song. And I'm glad I stuck to my guns there, in a sense, because it was sort of this song from the heart and a very authentic to me sound. I believe it ended up doing very well. So if there was a secret sauce, it would be finding a way to communicate yourself authentically, and that's very difficult for a lot of people to do.
Yeah, when you're discussing that, it reminded me of that scene from I think it was the Queen movie where they're writing Bohemian Rhapsody, and they're like, "Oh, this is 8.5 minutes. Should we do this?" And he's like, "Yes." So, and it turned out really well. So clearly, I think that you are definitely onto something there.
Basically, I'm Freddie Mercury.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm putting down. We all have to keep our eyes out. But yes, okay, no, I'm super excited to slide into this next song. It's one of my favorites, and I love it so much. So I think I'm ready. I'm ready to hear it.
Great. I hope everyone else is too. It's raining outside. This is like the perfect weather for this song. The song talks about rains and storms. So let's get into it, Ross. Things don't always work out, do they? And you can't help it if the rules change. It might feel like it is too late. You try and try and try until you break. 'Cause when it rains, it pours. And when it pours, ooh, it storms. So come indoors. You will be mine and I will be your shelter any time of need. You can come to me, baby, let me be your comfort when you're on your knees. Well, you best believe I can set you free, your shelter any time of need. You can come to me, baby, let me be your comfort when you're on your knees. Well, you best believe I can set you free. I can set you free. I can set you. No one listens like they used to. No one understands the pain. And it felt like only you knew. You were stranded in the rain. But when it rains, it pours. And when it pours, ooh, it storms. So come indoors. You will be mine and I will be your shelter in your time of need. You can come to me, baby, let me be your comfort when you're on your knees. Well, you best believe I can set you free. Your shelter in your time of need. You can come to me, baby, let me be your comfort when you're on your knees. Baby, best believe I can set you free. I can set you free. I can set you. That was Shelter.
Yes, I love that so much. And I got to hear it live, so that's super exciting. And you're right, with the rain, it's perfect. And I've been stuck on this song mostly because when I was looking for music videos to put together for your marketing, I found this one and I just was hooked on it. I thought it was so funny and so bizarre in like the perfect way. I hope you take that as a compliment. And I think that that's a major differentiating factor for you, Noah, because of all the artists I've worked with on this series. You've really had a commitment to putting together some really nice music videos. And so for our viewers who aren't familiar, what goes into creating a music video?
Sure. There's a lot that goes into every single music video that I put together. It's something that I've definitely got into so much this year. I think before 2020, I maybe only had 1 or 2 music videos out. And now I've got like 6 or 7, which is kind of nuts in 1 year to have that many with not really an existing budget or anything. So what goes into creating a music video is from the artistic side, you have to have a song, and a song that you can tell a story with, or express some sort of like visual. It doesn't necessarily have to be a story. The Shelter music video is basically 2 to 3 minutes of me and my best friend Timmy Cafton just kind of like goofing around the city of Lincoln, like not really doing a whole lot, but like dancing to the music and singing to the camera and
there's something with a banana in there.
Yeah, there's like a banana and an ice cream cone. We don't need to get into that. But all really kind of like goofy shots that a buddy of mine, Nate Lemon, we put that whole music video together in one day,
Wow.
which is kind of nuts. Yeah, we came together. We were like, well, I had expressed interest in doing this the day before to Tim Cafton, who was featured in the music video with me, and Nate Lemon, who ended up filming it. I was like, man, I feel like Shelter is such a good song; it should have some sort of visual component. And they decided, hey, let's just like throw together this music video, and that's what happened. Now, with most music videos that I've put together, with like pretty much every other one, it takes months of preparation and planning, and especially with COVID going on, like the music video that I put out for We're the Same, we had to follow all these regulations, and so it can be a bit of a hassle, but if you can find people that are willing to create with you, I say absolutely do it. Not only is it another opportunity to create sort of like a derivative piece of art from something you've already created, if you're an artist who's making music, but it's also really, really great for marketing. I'm actually a marketing major in the business school, and having a visual component to these songs is huge in terms of looking good for labels, in terms of drawing in a bigger audience from YouTube, all these different things. You have more to show at that point.
Yeah, and so do you come up with most of the ideas for like what story gets told in the music videos?
Yeah, I would say about 90% of like the creative legwork from like the first, I'd say first 3 or 4 that I put together were like almost all brainchildren of this one right here. As my music got bigger and bigger, more people wanted to collaborate with me, and so then they became more of collaborative efforts, even from the get-go of like conception of these music videos. I was working with other people rather than me drawing up this plan and saying, hey, could you film this for me?
Yeah.
And I definitely prefer the second half, like working together with people, because videography is not my area of expertise in any sense. But it's really, really great to work with people who have an eye for it, and wow, you can just get blown away by working collaboratively in that space. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, and I definitely, your marketing skills probably help out everything you do here. So that's really cool too. And so Noah, as a fan, I love the voice and musical style that you've discovered for yourself, and I think it's uniquely you, and I think it's going to take you far. And that being said, though, how did you come to find that voice, really? Because I know you mentioned you were inspired by folks like Jon Bellion, Vampire Weekend, Fleetwood Mac, but was there a specific moment where that really clicked for you?
Yeah, so what I love about the 3 artists that you mentioned is maybe aside from Fleetwood Mac, Jon Bellion and Vampire Weekend are both very versatile. Jon Bellion's an artist and Vampire Weekend is a band. They're both very versatile in terms of the music that they can create, or that they've allowed themselves to make, because they haven't really backed themselves into a corner in terms of sound. I'm someone who I really like writing pop songs. I really like writing folk songs. I really like writing rock songs. I have quite a few rock songs that I just haven't put out. And
I'm
I
excited
hope
for those music videos.
Yeah. and I hope I can at some point, So what's really great about Jon Bellion and Vampire Weekend is they're not really restricted to one sound. Would I say I've found my sound yet? Kind of. But I like that I've created a big enough space that I can move around from. If you hear the recordings of the first 2 songs I put out, Girl from the Sidewalk, is very folky. The second song I put out is Alone with My Thoughts, is this big electronic soundscape. And having those as my first 2 songs meant I could really create anything within that space from then on out. And I have been, and it's been really, really wonderful to be able to like hone in with, sounds that work for me, but also have the freedom to explore different sounds because I haven't really restricted myself.
Awesome. Well, Noah, it's been lovely talking to you today and getting to hear more about your story as an artist and the work that goes into your music. But before we finish things up, I believe you have a few more songs lined up for us, correct?
I sure do.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. And folks, I'm going to sit back and enjoy the rest of the stream. But if you enjoyed my friend Noah today, we encourage you to give to the Lead Center Relief Fund to ensure that the arts and programming like this remain an essential part of the Lincoln community. You can find the donation link on our website, www.leadcenter.org. We'd also love for you to join us next Tuesday at noon on Facebook and the Leeds website for our monthly episode of Lunch and Learn, the Lead Center's arts video podcast. We're going to be taking an insider look at one of Lincoln's most beloved arts institutions, Lincoln's Symphony Orchestra. And for more free live stream Huskers in the Spotlight concerts, you can mark your calendars for the last Tuesday of every month. On December 22nd, we'll be live with the Wildwoods, an Americana Roots duo. But for now, Noah, the spotlight's all yours.
Thank you. Also, I love the Wildwoods, so be sure to tune into them. Chasing the sunset, headed west, leaving behind a girl, think it's for the best. Trying to forget what a mess, feeling my forehead, don't feel it in my chest. 'Cause she was someone who loved the city more than she could ever love me. And she was what I thought I was missing. She misses everything but me. I'm a mile high, but I've never felt so low. So now looking out the window, at the night sky and the clouds below. Wish you were mine, I wish you were mine, but you'll never know. No, you'll never know. No, you'll never know. The flight attendant gave me a water, says that I don't look too well. Do I need a doctor? I'll be fine, ma'am. I smile and say, or could you ask the pilot to turn along the plane and take me back to the girl from the city? 'Cause I forgot to tell her how she looks so pretty. Glow of the street light when I had her with me. Don't know if I'll ever get a chance. It's a pity. I'm a mile high, but I've never felt so low. So now I'm looking out the window, at the night sky and the clouds below. Wish you were mine. Wish you were mine. But you'll never know. No, you'll never know. No, you'll never know. Landing back in Omaha, I pretend to know it all. Subway trains and concert halls, telling them the protocol. Skyscrapers that grow too tall, subway trains and concert halls. But I never mention you at all. Oh, no girl from the city, yeah. Oh, I'm a mile high, but I've never felt so low. So now I'm looking out the window. But you'll never know. No, you'll never know. No, you'll never know. That was Girl from the City, Part 2. Skoog was singing on that one. Thank you, Eric. Happy birthday again. Okay, we got one more song for y'all. It's about space. Captain's log, entry 71. Today I saw a satellite that orbited the sun. It's really very cold out here. I'm the only one. It's really very lonely here. I wish that I was done and home and home. But the universe just keeps on going. The universe just keeps on going. Captain's log, entry 108. The stars out here are brighter than those in the Milky Way. I'm flying at the speed of light, I can't keep up this pace. In autopilot aerospace, I lost track of the days. Home, home, but the universe just keeps on going. The universe just keeps on going. Well, the cosmos speak to me, and the cosmos speak. And I've seen just about everything, but none of it I can keep. Well, the cosmos speak to me, and the cosmos speak. And I've seen just about everything, but none of it I can keep. This will be my final entry. I'm tired, I'm done, I'm empty. My spirit is all but left me. The end of the universe, it doesn't impress me. Thank you. That song was called Alone with My Thoughts. That was our 4/4 version of Alone with My Thoughts. Once again, I just have a couple of thank yous. Well, thank you to you, the viewer, for tuning in. But thank you to Eric Skoog on drums, to Ross Grieb on guitar, to our production staff here at the Lead Center. The Lead Center is a really, really wonderful institution, so be sure to donate if you can to the Lead Center Relief Fund, because with COVID-19 going on, artists are struggling, and those who support artists are also struggling, so we could use all the support we can get in this trying time. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you liked the set. Again, my name is Noah Floersch, signing off. Thanks so much.